I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
So it was before my time. But I am reliably informed by parents and older people, boomers in my life. Especially when I started like dating a little bit older, even they were appalled that a girl would stand you up. They were appalled at the idea. You're kidding me. Like they couldn't comprehend. Like boomers can't comprehend how you young people can't afford a home. Well, what are you talking about? Well, we just, we we bought a house for $25,000 with money on our paper route. This is a while ago. They were shocked at just how high a percent of women would flake on a date. And I'm not saying like they wouldn't call you back. Like, no, you had a date and they would just stand you up, was the majority of instances that were between 50 and 70%, even by today's standards. Because at one time, boomers and before, women had what would simply be called honor. You would honor your word. Yeah, Jimmy, I'll go with you to the sock hop, and Susie would go with Jimmy to the sock hop, or whatever the hell people did in the 50s. I don't know. And there was this presumption of honoring your word or taking something at face value, where if Susie said she'd show up on the date, Susie would show up on the date. And it's the exact same thing today. I remember when you bought a video game, you bought a video game. You got the game, you put it in the console, you own the game worked, and there was no bullshit. And the parallels between how dating has become much more complicated and intellectually dishonest and a pain in the ass exist between that and video games as well, where now playing a video game is a royal pain in the ass. And just the previous video I wasn't planning on doing this, but I was not hopeful, right? You know not to get hopeful. You know to wait until these games come out to find out, okay, what overly complicated horse shit did they take? Something that should have been really fucking simple. Susie, meet me at the drive-in at 6 p.m. Sony, Electronic Arts, whatever. I will give you money and you will give me the video game and I will enjoy the video and I will own it. You're reluctant now because video game developers have so fucked everyone in the ass and made playing video games a incomprehensibly complicated chore and it's ununderstandable. Why do you make it so fucking difficult to play a video game? When just a generation ago, here's the game, we tested it, it works, you play it and you own it. So I had a theoretical interest in Call of Duty 6, Black Ops 6, because generally I love first-person shooters. That's my favorite genre. Call of Duty's been a pretty good franchise so far. But having played Battlefield and some other franchises not too long ago, one, there's the update issue, right? What's the first thing you do when you get home? Update all your Microsoft products. And then you got to update the game because they didn't test it and program it right the first time. Then you got to worry about whether there's going to be woke, leftist, ugly girl horse shit in there. Did you let a bunch of man-hating feminists become developers or content creators in your project? We don't know. And then, as Dre confirmed my suspicions, do I even get a game, or is it just a permission slip to go online and play with people and pay you $50 a month? And I guess that's what Call of Duty 6 is, where there is no campaign. There's a campaign, it's 8 hours long. I was pissed. I think I always buy used video games, so I never pay full price. I paid, I think, $15 for Battlefield 1. I could be wrong. It was one of the World War I games. I mean, it was World War II. It was one of the war games. And I played it, and the campaign was 5 hours long. That was it. Like, what the fuck is this? And see, it's so funny how the corporations hoodwink you young kids. Boomer, it's all online now. And I'm like, stupid kid, wasted $50 a month on a game that they could just unsubscribe you from or stop supporting the servers, and then you don't got a game. And then don't get me started about usernames and passwords. Let me explain to you again how it worked, even before my time. So Charlie will go up to Peggy Sue, and Charlie would say, Peggy Sue, do you want to go to the soda fountain place with me? And Peggy Sue would say, oh, shucks, Charlie, that'd be great. So Peggy Sue, I'll see you there at 7. And then Charlie would be there at 6:55, and Peggy Sue would show up there at 6:58 and have a soda fountain or soda pop together, or sarsaparilla, as the old timers called them. That's how simple it was. And at one time, and I experienced this, I lived it, I could tell you this did happen. You would buy the game and it would work. That was it. That was it. There was no, you need an account, you need a username and password. Sony requires, like, I think, yeah, that's right. Sony released a game. I forget which one. But they released it to different platforms as well because they want to make money on software, right? You know, just don't limit it to the PlayStation. But if you wanted to play on Steam, like for PC, you had to have a Sony account. What was it? Helldivers? Which one was it? I forget which one it was. And you don't need an account. You don't need an account. Why do we need an account? Because there's a not even a needle dick, like a mosquito pokey thing size dick MBA at PlayStation who thinks they're going to make more money constantly fucking over their client base. And so I just want to let you know that back in the day, video games were nowhere near this complicated unnecessarily. I know they've changed in complexity because of technology, like, oh, we can do this and we can do that. But to play the game was nowhere near this complicated. It was nowhere near this backstabby. It was nowhere near to suck your wallet dry with just permission to play. They didn't have you come online, give your username and password and payment information so that when they're invariably hacked by a hacker, you got to go and change all your bank account numbers, your social security numbers, and all that shit. They didn't do that. It was. And you got a game. That was the other thing. You got a game. Oh, there's a whole game to play on. This would take like at least 40 hours. So now that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has come out, and Dre thankfully told me, oh yeah, the campaign is 8 hours. I'm not spending $70 on it. And then you throw on the woke horse shit, and then you throw on the complications, and then you throw on the updates, and then there's a bunch of bugs. And then you throw on if you'd like to play, you got to pay $50 a month to have online. And then you need to set up an account, and you need internet access, and then. Guys, we're just trying to play a game. We're not trying to do open heart surgery. All right. You throw in all these complications. I'm telling you right now, for you young kids, the games coming out are so bad. They're not even existent. I mean, it's like the girl who keeps, you're not getting laid. There it is. You're not getting laid. There's going to be all this preamble horse shit. There's going to be all this crap you got to do to maybe play the game, but you're not going to enjoy the game. It's going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to be lecturing horse shit. And at the end of the day, you're not getting laid. And video games are so bad now. I'm going to predict kids are going to be going outside and playing, or they're going to go back to playing legacy games on older consoles or older, well, I guess older PCs would play older games. And you should. To all you young people out there and anyone playing video games in general, I would just be abandoning video games. And it's not like you're going to choose to abandon them. You're going to be forced to abandon them because they're too fucking difficult just to get installed, to get to the point to play. Choose your hair color, choose your gender. What are your pronouns? What kind of thing? Are you left-handed or do you right? God almighty. Guys, just as the boomers got to enjoy Peggy Sue showing up and you had a date, you just took the video. You could rent the video games. For $5, you get the video game. You take it home, you play it, and then you'd return it 48 hours later. There were good times in the 80s and 90s. Sorry you kids missed out on it. But the games are so overly and unnecessarily complex and bad. And they're not buying it. Like, this isn't me making a big... I'm not kidding. I think kids will be going outside and playing. I think kids will be going back and playing older legacy games. I think people will be just abandoning the new. You just wait. We'll find out when the next generation console will generate PlayStation 7 and Xbox. GXXS. Hey, by the way, Xbox, make as many variants and derivatives of your current Xbox as possible. So we're all very confused as to which games will play on it. The next console generation of consoles is just, I don't even know if they're going to come out with one. Really, I don't. Because people are getting sick and tired of spending $600 on a console to pay $70 for video games that fucking suck and are unplayable. They might be playable, but I'm not going through an hour of setup to get to the playable part. And all you're going to have like this dwindling core of diehard video game players who have nothing going on in life. Are like, oh, I'll spend 2 hours setting this up. I mean, you could set up a car in a shorter amount of time. But the young kids, they're not going to have patience, especially young kids. They're not going to have patience for this shit. They're not going to figure that shit out. I'm not kidding. It's so bad. Kids are going to go back outside and play. And you know what? That's good. You will have more fun playing outside. The reason I didn't take my parents' advice or older people's advice is because they were always miserable. And I'm like, why would I take advice from miserable people? They don't know what they're talking about. And for the most part, I was right. Boomers really didn't know what they're talking about. But you think, ooh, fuddy-duddy old people. Oh, this boomer's telling me to go outside and play. No, I'm not doing that because I'm old fuddy-duddy. Gotta do what I did back in my day. You're going to have more fun playing outside with your friends and going biking around or electric bike. You will have more fun doing that than playing video games. And I mean, just try it. Just really. And I can't wait. I mean, I doubt it's going to happen. I think kids are just going to revert to other kind of digital media, maybe the internet, maybe YouTube videos, but they are going to abandon video games. And I think don't be surprised. Maybe this winter when we got some snow days, these kids are going to be outside sledding and snow forts and snowball fights. This summer, what really, who's going to stick around for? I think that you're going to see a migration where the young people are just abandoning video games because they're not fun anymore. They're not tenable. And they're just going to do anything. They're going to hang out with Bobby. They're going to go, I don't know, do you kids got BMX bikes anymore? Do you have that? Maybe you got those one-wheeled skateboard things. They're going to do anything but the video games, really. Because you listen to me. Everyone in the video game industry, listen to me. You have a bunch of inferior people making an inferior product. You're inferior people. I'm not even joking about. I don't mean that like in a trait-based way. I mean that in a talent way. You guys make shit. You have no skills. Your talents are inferior. Your talents aren't even existent. You're just go home. Really. If you're not going to make fun, if you're just going to try and screw over people and milk download content, microtransactions, online gameplay, subscriptions, if that's all you got, I'm telling you right now to save your money, save the company you work for, save their capital. All of you should quit, find something else to do. And then let other people who actually like fun, want to make a good product at a fair price, and put tiggle bitties back on the girls again. All right. Uh, let them do it. But you're not going to do, you're just wasting your time. You're wasting billions of dollars now, hundreds of billions. Well, no, I'm sorry, hundreds of millions ending up to tens of billions. Just give it. I know you won't. You're too ego invested. It's been your dream to be a leftist, Marxist, horseshit video game developer. That's fine. No one's going to play your games. And you're also lazy. We're not going to program a campaign. That's not where I'm not going to do a campaign. And you can make fun. Oh, look at the old geezer who wants a campaign. Yeah, I do want a campaign. You know what I got? I got money too. But you guys keep doing what you're doing. You guys keep doing what you're doing. All right. Keep making your shit product, because at the end of the day, you will fail because you are inferior people making an inferior product that nobody wants. And it's so bad. It's so bad. Kids are going to go outside and play. That's how bad you guys are. Of course, you don't care. I know that I'm talking to a wall. Maybe the owners of these companies might care to do something about it, huh? Maybe you fire the NBA dude bros. Maybe you go hire people like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker and other nerd geek people and pay them to be consultants. But no, you're also miserable people, and that's why you can't make fun. You're just miserable people. So there you go, kids. You don't want these miserable adults feeding you horse shit. Okay. You know what you got now? This is what you got. You got teachers. It's as if we had a bunch of public school teachers and now they're video game developers. It's all about politics. It's all boring. It's all mean. There's no fun. There's no souls. Yeah. So you kids don't need to go to school. All right. You don't have to go to school online and in your video games, right? You already do that enough. Go outside and play. Go outside and play. All right. Dre, $2. Soon they're going to add Lizzo as a character in Call of Duty. Don't they have like a wheel-bound chair or wheelchair-bound character in some action show, like an action video game? Dre, $2. If it's made in the West, rejected 100%. Yep. Ministry of Otaku, $5. Good idea about kids should go outside unless their neighborhood is crime-ridden area. Most third places are gone since Corona-chan lockdowns. The kids, no matter where you were, rich or poor, you go out, you play baseball, or you go out, play Bloody Murder, or kick the can, different names for the same game. Just the kids will figure it out. They'll go build forts. They're going to do anything, really. Why spend 2 hours trying to set up a video game when you can go outside and play? Big Shell 007, $2. Please try Kingdom Come Deliverance. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Let me try. Add that. Kingdom Come Deliverance. All right. Dre, $2. Game company charged for early 3-day access to play. Yeah, no. Look, if people want to pay at 3-day early access, fine. But who's excited about your games anymore? Let me take a look. Call of Duty 6 sales. Eyes are on. How many copies? Black Ops. Call of Duty's 425 drop games. Call of Duty could boost Game Pass by up to 4 million, but at the cost of 6 million lost sales. All right, there doesn't seem to be any data. That Park Place will cover it, I'm sure. Another thing I haven't pointed out. Call of Duty, Black Ops, the subgenre of Call of Duty's 6. 6. Have you thought of a different video game maybe? Peop what young kid wants to play Call of Duty, right? What 9 or 10-year-olds like, "Oh, yeah, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6." They're targeting adults with that game, right? It's an adult game or a older child, like 14 plus, right? So, don't you think maybe it should be fun and easy? Like, we got going to high school, got work. Ministry of Otaku, $5. The future of gaming is PC, mobile, gotcha, and Nintendo. Console wars are officially over as of 2024 due to the end of AA game industry in favor of AAA. Yeah, I probably will be switching to PC, but it's going to have to be Linux because I'm not when Microsoft says you must switch over in 2025 to our spy operating system. I'm not even being conspiratorial. Look it up. Not doing it. Erico, $5. I'd love to see you review Black Myth Wukong. It's a generational game. Okay, I will play it. It's on my list. I'm waiting until I get down to Vegas to play it though. Pringles can with veins, $5. The DEI risk tolerance is disappearing. Turns out black wheelchair Molly doesn't sell to boys. Who knew? Yeah. Is that her is the character's name Molly? Is it um we'll find out. We'll find out. The problem is what Veilguard and Concord and all these other games are starting to realize is it takes years to develop a video game, and if you're like, we're gonna start step one, sassy overweight black woman, lesbian, space witch vagina, and that's embedded on day one. Well, 6 years later, how do the rapper samurai douche canoe, the Assassin's Creed, where it's a black samurai. We're delaying. I'm like, wait, what are you trying to? What? It's over. It's over. You spent 7 years developing that game. It's over. Go outside and play, kids. It's more fun. All right, we'll see you guys later. Toodles.